Yo, it's Quincy on board. Back for another one. Today we're doing Iowa by Slipknot. Been honestly wanting to do this for a while. Uh, just haven't really found like the time and all that. But yeah, I've wanted to check out more of their stuff for a while. Really like the self-titled. I'm been getting into like a lot of different stuff at the moment. So getting back to some metal seems like a nice change of pace for me. But yeah, let's not waste any more time because I think this thing's like an hour, hour six. Last track I think it's like 15. Yeah. First track is 515. This is the intro, right? I'll let it just go into the next song. Yeah, I'll just let it go.
Everybody hates me now, so fucking bullets on my face on my hands, and I don't know why. I'm not afraid to cry, but that's none of your business. So I'm gonna get it, see it, feel it, eat it, bitter out so I can spit in its face. I wanna leave without a trace, cause I don't wanna die in that race. People like bullshit, people like bullshit, people like bullshit, people like bullshit, people like bullshit. What you gonna do? Cause I'm not afraid of you. I'm everything to never buy.
Man, that drum is crazy.
It never stops, you can't put everything to everyone. Got change and I'm certain of the side of Satan. What do you want from me? They never told me the fellow was meant to be. Yeah, overdo it, don't tell me you feel it. Stop your bitching and fight your way through it. I'm not like you, I just fuck up. Come on motherfucker, everybody has to die. Come on motherfucker, everybody has to die. People like what?
Okay. Think I don't know if it's gonna like mix into the next track again. Um Corey's screams, like that full throated like rasp and almost like no melody at all in the vocals. Um I don't know, the like I really like how the verse vocals were really fast, almost like spat out a little bit. Um and then the chorus being in that like lower like growl, it's a little clearer. Just I think more so the way he's enunciating. But I don't know, like the lyrics, uh just like the title, like pure what would be a good word? Misanthropy, maybe. It's not really a critique. It's not really like extremely nuanced. It's uh almost dismissive in a way. And the repetition of it as well. It's more so like a chant or mantra, and it's almost like he's given up on humanity in a sense, especially like listing the way like different reasons and ways he like hates everyone. Um, I don't know if it's a literal or like metaphorical thing. I assume somebody will probably be able to give me like better like example of like not even just what the album's about, but like this track in particular. Um, and I'll probably because I'm gonna start. Well, I'll get into that later, but I definitely want to look more into like the processes behind some of these albums I've been listening to. So it'd be kind of interesting to see how a lot of this came to be, and reasons for like the tracks, stuff like that. That'd be kind of cool. The guitars on this one, I like how they had like the chugging riff, and like the is it drop tuning, or is it more like I don't know, the tone is kind of scooped. There's like the low mid cuts, the bass and treble heavy, like a lot of it. It sounds kind of sharp with like this hollowness that kind of helps even things out a little bit to me. And I like how during the verses they would play fast. Uh, this like muted, like maybe like palm muted pattern. Um, it was interesting, and then the short guitar solo, but like really really fun, like chaotic sound. Really like that one. Um, and then the bass with the low end. I think mostly during that spoken like chorus section. I think it was like a little simpler, slower, bass lines. I think I felt the bass more than I heard it, if that makes sense, directly, like in a direct sense. And the drumming, I think, held the whole song together. I think I mentioned it. I don't know if you even heard me mention it, but the drums, I think, were like the what held everything together here. I think the drums were like very, very man, what's the word? I guess essential to the overall track. I think the drums really um I don't know, cause like they switched, like the groove, like the drum groove switched. So I don't know. To me, I think it. I mean, obviously that controls the tempo, but I think the way a lot of like the different parts played around the drums were really important, and I think that made the drums like pretty much the anchor of the song, if that makes sense. But yeah, really like that. That was dope. Let's get into the track. It's like track
Fight!
Disasterpiece. I like that title. Cool.
Lord,
Oh, that's great.
Inside another dream that never ended to be realized. What the fuck are you looking at? I tell you what you're looking at. Everyone you ever fucking loved on. Look at my eyes for the odds are difficult. I can feel it underneath like a miracle. Everybody in the world needs more than life. The consequences to bear with them. Once again, it's me and no one else. I can't remember if there was that someone else. Without mine, it's not fair. It's out of my hands and it's shaking. You never take mine. People make noises, people make noises when they're sick. Nothing to do with the product of nothing. Noises, people make noises, people make noises when they're sick. Nothing to do with the product of nothing. 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 Screaming and crying. I'm not supposed to be it. I'm not supposed to be it. When do I get to know why? I'm the sort of what I try. I'm not supposed to be it. I'm not supposed to be
That guitar's like a extra of it, man. That's so cool. It's like a mess.
Pull your hands away. I'm gone. Goodbye. It's so depressing. Withering away. Take a look inside. My soul is missing. All I have is dirt, so I'll take you with me. Feel like I'm erased, so kill me just in case. I feel like I'm erased, so kill me just in case. Don't kill me just in case. Everything around me's mine. Can't see that it's not in my eyes. I'm not supposed to be it. I'm not supposed to be splurging and crying all the way. You won't let me fucking start. I'm not supposed to be it. I'm not supposed to be. Is there another way to live? Cause it's the only way to die. I'm not supposed to be it. I'm not supposed to be. God. No. 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 I'm not supposed to be it. I'm not supposed to be. I'm not supposed to be it. I'm not supposed to be.
Oh wow, and that sounded like a phone got put down at the end too. The lyrics were definitely cold on this one. I got like what he was talking about securities. A lot of this felt really more intimate lyrically. Um, Overall, I think the guitar is what stood out to me the most on this initial listen. And I really like the distortion and like this like oh my gosh, like the sonic texture is like like really like razor sharp and like I don't know how to describe it. Like really messy, really jagged. Uh wow. That was that aspect of how the like that steady kick drum and then like just the like initially in the intro the clean harmonized guitar line sounded really good, and then once like the distortion was in and the main riff had that single low chugging and like a syncopated rhythm. I think the guitar was just like a lot big mess of like these like whammy dives, a lot of feedback, some really cool stuff there. Like more technical stuff that I'm not super like knowledgeable of just because I haven't listened to a ton of metal, but I've been trying to like get more familiar with the terminology and stuff. But yeah, just a lot of that noise that to me uh sounded very controlled, even though it was very chaotic and very explosive at times. Um, but as far as the lyrics, yeah, a lot of it was very overall the song sounded really like almost claustrophobic, like he was in his head a lot. And I don't know, even for quiet parts, I felt I could just like feel something was coming, and then it would just like, explode into more darker themes and like sounds overall. Yeah, I think this is probably the more like most intimate so far. I was told that there is one song that is like a lot, I think, towards the end, so we'll see how this goes. Track 4, my blood.
Conniptions for the final that you came here for. The one derivative humanity is the one I abhor. I need a minute to eliminate forever what the everyday bullshit that I did you have done. Your impossible legal fuck is like a megalomaniacal jab on my jaw. You fucking touch me, I will rip you apart. I'll reach in and take a bite out of that shit you call a life. I don't mind being awkward, ridiculed, made to feel minuscule. When you consider the source, it's got a bit of fall. The only thing you really know about me is that's all you'll ever know. I wanna understand why, but I'm hurting myself. I haven't seen a lot of reasons to stop it. I can't just drop it. I'm just a bastard, but at least I admit it. At least I admit it.
Dope, man, dope. Oh my god, the bouncy patterns of the even the guitar too, but the drums. Oh my gosh, bro. It had those cymbal crashes with the fast, steady beat on the snares, the quarter note, like that's a signature hip hop staple uh drum pattern. Comes from oh my gosh. I mean, initial origins of hip hop, um, like OG MCs and like jockey parties, things like that. And how they would get samples of older, like swing sets of drums, older groups. Wow, very cool influence into metal though. That was dope. The chorus was very catchy. I like how they flipped it at the end, and also like the imagery of like toxic love or like almost codependency in a sense. Very, very cool. Very varied vocals here. I think more so than any other song so far, because you had like more of the signature like breathy vocals, like the growls, like the really deep ones, the shouts, screams. But then you had on like the hook the very like very tame, very normal, layered, very rhythmic, melodic, like what would be like the most acceptable, quote unquote, vocals like generally like to the average person. Um so that was like very interesting, like compared to other, like differing from other tracks so far. Yeah, really enjoyed that. Probably my favorite so far because I really liked the drums too. Like that was so, it was very dope hearing that intertwined with all of the stylistically. That was really cool. Into the
You
next
are
one.
wrong,
Everything
fucked and
is
overrated.
Red
I think I'm gonna be sick and it's your fault. This is the end of everything. You are the end of everything. I haven't slept since I woke up and found my whole life was a lie, motherfucker. This is the end of everything. You are the end of everything. I get banged with pain. I'm on the trails on my arms with your disdain. Every day is the same. I love you, hate, but I guess I don't care anymore. I'll fix my problems with no blame. While my eyes turn from blue to gray. And the worst thing happened to me today. But I guess I don't care anymore. You are all fucked and overrated. Think I'm gonna be singing it's your fault. This is the end of everything. You are the end of everything. I never slept since I woke up and found my whole life was a lie, motherfucker. This is the end of everything. You are the end of everything. My thoughts are the only thing left that's pure. I can't really live, can't really endure. Everything I see reminds me of her. God, I wish I didn't care anymore. The more I touch, the less I feel. I'm lying to myself that it's not real. More suffering when he makes it such a big fucking deal. It's never gonna appear anymore. You are all fucked and overrated. Think I'm gonna be sick and it's your fault. This is the end of everything. You are the end of everything. I never slept since I woke up and found my whole life was a lie, motherfucker. This is the end of everything. You are the end of everything. You're wrong and overrated. I think I'm gonna be sick and it's your fault. This is the end of everything.
Okay, so that song sounded like really exhausted. There obviously like I don't know, I felt this throughout most of the tracks so far. Heavy resentment and like mixed in with like the themes of like songs so far. But this one, yeah, I felt like it started to like really exhaust itself. It was really repetitive. A lot of the chorus or hook going back a lot of repetition. I think that was the point though. I might be wrong. I think that was like in line with like the narrative of the song as well. I like how the vocal started a little clean and then like almost in like a whining tone a little bit. Then it started going into like the screaming, speaking, screaming, speaking. Spoken parts were kind of like interesting with the especially with like his voice cracking, how raw and emotional it was. Which is definitely like one aspect that I've really liked about the vocals on both this and the self-titled so far. Um yeah, drums are like pretty standard, I feel like, but I did like that like kick and snare on like I think on the third, which was cool. And that like space in between, that was dope. Yeah, there were a couple of things with the drumming on this specific track I really liked. Like tonally and just overall sonically as well. Um yeah, still a lot of like very aggressive, uh angry moods throughout. Irritation almost in a sense as well. Um I've been liking pretty much everything I've heard so far. It's been pretty good. It's been fun as well. The Heretic Anthem, Trap 6. So I think we're about halfway now.
Got a super dread man with a name to draw again, like a deadbeat winner. I wanna be a sinner and not a lifeline for the industry killer. I'm killing this man that you don't understand. I'm a suicide body and I'm guaranteed to fucking snap. It's suicidal, it's monologue. Breakdowns of sanity, that's all I wanna be. If you're 5'1", then I'm 6'6'6". If you're 5'5", I'm 6'6'6". When I'm 5'5", I'm 6'6'6". What's it like to be a heretic if you're 5'5", I'm 6'6'6". What's it like to be a heretic? Everybody's so infatuated. Everybody's so completely sure of what we are. Everybody down for me from miles away. But face to face, I haven't got nothing to say. I bleed for this and I bleed for you. Sure you look at my face like I'm somebody new. Joy, nobody wants anything I've got. Which is fine because you're made of everything I'm not. If you're 5'5", then I'm 6'6'6". If you're 5'5", I'm 6'6'6". Well, if you're 5'5", I'm 6'6'6". What's it like to be a heretic if you're 5'5", I'm 6'6'6". What's it like to be a heretic? Yeah! The slightest, the teaching you price it, the listening collaborate. All the money in the world can't buy me. Go ahead and lie to me, tell me again how you're tortured. I wanna know how you followed your orders so well. You're full of shit, you had a dream but this ain't it. If you're 5'5", I'm 6'6'6". 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 No, I'm 5'5", I'm 6'6'6". What's it like to be a heretic if you're 5'5", I'm 6'6'6". What's it like to be a heretic if you're 5'5", I'm 6'6'6".
like this is probably better live. I want to see a live performance of this one. It's really like chant, like, you know. Yeah, I also like the bass heavy guitar tones. I think I might just let it go into the next track. Cause it's pretty steady for that one, you know. I don't think there's too much I really want to say about that one. I really liked the call and response though with the chant. That was cool. Gently track 7? Yeah. Bro, that's the best song I've heard on here. It's one of the best songs I think I've heard this week, to be honest. And songs like that are literally why. Oh my gosh, bro. That's why. That's why like started doing this. Like finding like hearing music like that. That was like the way it was all arranged and organized. Um, very like traditionally structured song here. Um, it has everything. It has all the like main semblances of like most traditional tracks in general. Like if you really want to hardly structure something, this is like a very properly structured song. Um, Not much I can really say I didn't like about it, to be honest. Probably some of the best stuff I've heard from them as a band in general. I like how the lyrics had some more like abstract like stances and ideas about it. And the theme of someone that's like given up but knows they have to keep going. I mean, that's relatable generally to anybody. But yeah, man, the I don't know like how to. That was really cool. And it was really testing my like my idea of how what like I guess of what my like expectations are. Cuz I was kind of just waiting for it to build into like more chaotic moments, but it was sitting in like some more of the parts that were more absent of like very aggressive styles of like guitar play, vocals, stuff like that. It was really interesting. It was an interesting meshing of like some stylistic differences from other songs so far on this album. So that was really cool. I think overall too, the percussion coming in kind of like tested my idea of how they can like form sounds without relying heavily on the drums. So that was also very interesting. Next track I think 8, Left Behind.
All my
I think I would say, so far, amidst all the songs, I think this song has the cleanest, clearest vocals consistently throughout a song on this album so far. Um, Even when he's shouting, very clear pitch. The chorus had a melody that I feel like you can hum along to. I think the screams were like more accenting than being the full main, layered thing. The background voices that are layering the screaming as well sounded almost like, I don't know, it gave me like the effect of like a crowd screaming. It's kind of cool. Um, the guitar, I think I really like the guitar melodies here than a nice solid chunk of some other songs on this album so far. And the choruses used more open, like ringing chords on the guitar, which I think let the vocal melody like come through clear there. And then the bass was mixed a little higher, which I really liked. And then the drums were more straightforward. Uh, they opened up with like the crash cymbals on the downbeats, which were nice. And then it was kind of like more faint, especially like around the bridge of the track. It was like more faint. But yeah, overall I really liked it. I kind of want to know like the meaning behind this one actually, like the actual direct meaning, because I feel like, I don't know, it sounded not vague but like oddly specific. I feel like there was something going on in terms of like the being left behind imagery and the, like, I haven't slept since I woke up, stuff like that. Um but yeah, interesting. It was, melody was getting stuck in my head almost a little bit actually. It was pretty catchy. Um okay, track 9, Escape. So we got like 3 more after this, and it's like we got like 4 more.
Die strong! Tragic to stay with you, too static to try for you. The scars they swallow hard, the part of the past that's hollow and dark. Too horrid to kill for you, too sordid to die with you. Unstable as always, calm down. Everything else is just dust and sound. Samurai, I lost my only way. Samurai, I've lost my only way. Samurai. I give it all away, come take it all away. You come set the fear, somebody tell me how I got here. I give it all to you, come take it, it's all for you. The noise is so damn loud, but everything else is not done that sound. Samurai, I lost my only way. Samurai, I lost my only way. Samurai, I lost my everything but taken for taken. Gotta start it over cause I'm hearing it backwards. Don't make sense, don't feel better, who's better? It's not that simple, you gotta figure it out before you make things difficult. It's not a word, it's a problem, the problem was easy. Draw your conclusions, solutions, everybody else wanna run. Contorting, distorting, I am undone. One less propaganda nightmare face you. Are you getting a picture?
really catchy chorus. Um, I think some of the better vocals I've really enjoyed here, that like kind of like rapid fire screaming in the verses, the like ugly tone of his voice. It was really interesting. Like it was a really specific tone in the voice that like sounded both really cool and like almost like off like melodic in a sense, but also like had like a edginess to it a little bit. And then like those spoken word sections as well. Um the main riff of the guitar I really liked. That pattern at like 2 minutes, like 35-ish seconds around there, probably like some of my favorite guitar on the whole thing, not in terms of like the technicalities of the guitar, just how it sounded. I just really liked how it sounded there. um Bass was pretty I feel like pretty repetitive, and like kind of the low end was like a little oppressive on purpose. I think that was on purpose. And then yeah, syncopated drums. The snares were on the offbeats here, which was cool. um like I don't know, gave me like almost like a limping feeling with like the overall rhythm of a lot of the track. Um and it was really cool, like vivid visual description lyrically of like just life and stuff. Yeah, I enjoyed that one. Next I think at 10, I am a
The old one is my enemy, and I'm a walking target. Significant.
similar idea.
I can't stay because I can't be stuck. Motherfuckers alive. I know you're on time. The same old process. Let me tell you, it's gonna be. I'm gonna kill everyone who steps up in front of me. Get them to the same fucking scale. Same old shit I did that. Everybody wants to be so hard. Are you real when suddenly was gone? They all lost it. When you test on it, they never get to go outside. Shut up. Nobody gives a fuck until the takes the fact that you're solid. Strip down with what you did, but what's inside of me, you'll never know. Bipolar God. My life was always shit, and I don't think I need this anymore. I'm not pretty, I'm not cool, I'm fat, I'm ugly and brown, so fuck you. Standing out as a new potential. Stream of the sickness, have masturbation. You're gonna see it to believe we all got caught. All the media are sacred cows, we spawn. What's your trust in the music? We wanna rebuild this as a religion. Stripped out with what you did, but what's inside of me, you'll never know. Bipolar God. You know what we are. My life was always shit, and I don't think I need this anymore. I am dead. You are dead. We are dead. I am dead. Everything's suction, I can prove it. Everybody does have a long movement. Individuals indispensable. I'm the paradise needy vessel. The other side, oh no secret. But this side is done, I don't need it. And when you go, you should know you're breaking down. You'll be run by the time you're on the ground. Stripped down with what you did, but what's inside of me, you'll never know. Bipolar God. You know what we are. My life was always shit, and I don't think I need this anymore. There's only one thing left, and I can't leave it illustrated. They're closing it, I can't escape. I am majored.
Okay, it was like a little more, it was aggressive but controlled with, the opposing vocal styles here. He has like him, like screaming, being really angry, aggressive, really radiating like a lot of that energy. And then the more, I'd say a little calm, like clearly enunciated, almost spoken word in a sense in the chorus. And I think it's like and then also like the vocals in the background, like shouting those same lines on the chorus, and then even the outro, in that like strained, almost desperate voice as well. That was very interesting. The riff on the verses for the guitar, really bouncy, had a little bit of a swing almost to it there. Um, the chorus was a little simpler, chugging, I'd say. It kind of gave off like a chugging motion sonically. Very audible bass. Um Slightly different line from the guitar, but had this like almost counter melody in the verse that was kind of dope and kind of like stood out a little bit to me. Drums had a cool syncopated pattern as well. And had like a halftime groove, I'd say. Um but yeah, I think there was like a little bit of like almost a message of like being misunderstood on this one. Yeah, I'm starting to see a lot of sentiments being echoed throughout. Just like a lot of anger at like the world and people in general. There's probably good reason. I can imagine there's probably very crazy background information to this album. I'd really like to know. It's always interesting, like seeing like tidbits about like different songs and stuff. But I think I'll definitely want to watch a video about this one because it seems like there's like at the surface so much, but I feel like there's a lot of like deeper stuff going on inside, like that isn't strictly like solely being talked about at the forefront. You're getting like you're getting a little bit from the outside looking in. Next track, I think 11. Slim Pickens. Definitely more tracks. Maybe.
Together, running and running and going forever, collected and simple, stopping for zero. Come see my cage, built in my grave. Come see my cage, built in my grave. Come see my cage, in my grave. Come see my cage, built in my grave. And my legs, a circle, and heaven, a little, and fill it, harder, and well, and between us and us, and zero is nothing but zero. Come see my cage, built in my grave. 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 Yeah, 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 yeah.
I like how almost like industrial the track sounded. Um and like the almost like suffocating emptiness at the end. He sounded like, I don't know, he was like breaking down at the end. Uh yeah, that was very wild to experience. I like how the intro was and how it built up and developed. Um it was just like an evolving piece of work the whole time for that song. Probably in like my top three so far, I think. I really enjoyed that one. Um and wow, just like I really want to know like what circumstances they come from, like how they know each other. Uh just like that's very interesting. Um and how like the like almost like painful yearning of wanting to leave somewhere. I can definitely identify with like some of that for sure. But wow, that's like really does start to feel like survival, like pure, like yeah, that's crazy. That was that sounded like a deeply personal track there. Okay. Next one, track what? Track 12. Real version. I think now we have three more.
son away from me. You can't take my son away from me. Fuck you.
Okay. Also, yeah, stutter pattern in the drums. Wow. Okay, that's cool. Uh, I think overall for this one, the track felt like really intentionally emphasizing like that I like what's the best idea? It sounds like a generation that's kind of like hopeless, you know, it doesn't get like a chance for like a real future in a sense, and trying not to, you know, like sell your soul in a sense. Um Really unique concept, but at the same time also plays into like this like almost unfinished uh industrial mechanized sound in a sense. Interesting how it was structured too. I think what I really liked the most to hear were like the verse riffs a little bit, and those like almost like those feedback like squeals of the guitar. I think that sound is really dope. Yeah, that's probably something I'd ideally say is one of the more enjoyable aspects of that track. Yeah, I really like that one. I've enjoyed most of it so far. Nothing so far that I'm really like apprehensive about, I would say. Metabolic.
I can never be. Now all I do is sit around and wish I got my goddamn mind. Demons, I took a life for living in mind, and with the mockery I deny and fall, but you gave my calling. I'm always ready to die, but you're killing me. I'm always ready to die, but you're killing me. I'm always ready to die, but you're killing me. I'm always ready to die, but you're killing me. Who are you to me? Who am I to you? It's just a lesson and now I think the negligent because he thought you were my only way to the outside. Psychosomatic suicide. Where were you when I was down? Can you show me a way to face every day with this face goodbye? I'm mine, demons. I took a life for living in mind, and with the mockery I denied. I found, but the game are coming. I'm always ready to die, but you're killing me. I'm always ready to die, but you're killing me. I'm always ready to die, but you're killing me. I'm always ready to die, but you're killing me. I see you fucking me, and I am absolutely controlling every act of mutilate. The one and only answer, so much for memories. I wanna trust in your insecurities and be the perfect you want to. I'm outstretched out for hours alone. Here we go, the end of my life. Yeah. 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 My demons, I take it off one level.
That was so cool. I really like how a lot of the songs have like really similar systems that like how they end, especially with like the chorus usually going directly to the end, like the vocals. Um yeah, main riff here was I think slower than most tracks, but very very doomy. And overall also just uh this like really interesting tempo they play with the drums that everything like tends to work around. Uh really interesting. Vocally, I think I liked how like sung and like screamed the vocals were here than a lot of others. I think he sounded more almost desperate, really like very emotional, with like the angry like screams and like fast, almost like panic delivery at times. It was very different, I think, from a lot of other stuff on here so far. So I think I really like that. Um and yeah, overall, uh I think I've really felt like a lot of the emotions and like the rage throughout this whole thing. Uh, I don't want to necessarily say I felt it more here, but I definitely like understood like a great deal of like the emphasis here. I think we have one more. I think, not sure. Title track, 15 minutes. I think some of this will be like dead silent for that. We'll see. I could be wrong. I have no idea. repeating bass line, man. It's like a subsonic feeling on the. I'm feeling it more than I'm hearing it right now. If that makes sense. Oh, I guess the other way around. Yeah, I'm really feeling. That slow steadiness makes it almost unnerving a little bit. It's weird. how thick the guitars are, like throughout this whole thing. Just like going consistently.
You live forever. You will live forever.
And where do I go from here? That's crazy. Okay, that was like a actual mammoth of a like. Oh my goodness, that's like a whale-sized track, bro. 15 minutes, and there's like no actual silence. Was that a live? Like, was that a full live take? That's one thing I do want to know. Was that just all recorded in one take? And then how like the drums entered gradually, um, and like the different like blasts of just like jamming, I guess I would say. Yeah, that was crazy. That, like, I don't know, a lot of feelings, a lot of raw emotion, symbolism, what would you call it in terms of the what else would I say? Like in terms of like the narrative overall. Um there was like a lot of like possessive phrasing in terms of like how he was talking about whoever, whatever position he was talking from. Like the killer, like the delusions and stuff. And I think he was talking almost from like a position of uh not even omniscience, but like a very like a superior person in like every way almost. Um yeah, a lot of like very possessive like acts of like quote unquote affection or like compulsion and like sickness, like really, yeah, like really possessive stuff. Um yeah, overall I really liked the vocals, how they were layered. There was a lot going on, obviously. I feel like this is something I definitely need to listen to again. Probably like on a walk or something. Just listen to it. Yeah, it was split into a bunch of sections. Um yeah, a whole lot going on there. uh I don't really know how to put into words what I just experienced. That was uh unsettling to a degree, but I don't know, I've gotten kind of used to this type of music, so it's like not super ridiculous. Um yeah, I really enjoyed it. Uh like when the like yeah, like the rave started like burning out, and then there was just those quiet like moments in between where you're just hearing the guitars going steadily till you get to the next section. Uh I think it made it feel more authentic and more raw to me. But a lot of this music feels very raw in the emotions and the delivery and everything. You know, I think there's a lot of intention and control behind a lot of like the chaotic explosions that you're like very used to hearing. I think there's a lot of like refinement there, um, and intention as well. Even though it might seem like it's very flawless and unintentional. It's very I feel like there's a lot of intention behind a lot of this. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Definitely want to check out some more. I want to check out more Corn too at some point, but there's other bands I haven't listened to that I definitely want to get to as well, and some I need to get back to also. It's a lot of music. But we'll get through it all in time. I think that'll be it for me for this video. I don't even know how long this thing's been going. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Peace.